To the Honourable Randall Mitchell, Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, Mr. Videsh Maraj, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, Mr. Martel Waldron, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, Mrs. Beverly Ramsey Moore, President of Trinbago, Ms. Kiba Jacob Motley, CEO of the National Carnival Commission, Commissioners of the National Carnival Commission, NCC, who are present, members of Trinbago's Central Executive, Regional Executive, Chief Administrative Officer and staff, Ms. Deborah Coriat Patton, Chairman of the Office of the Prime Minister Sport and Culture Fund, BP Trinidad and Tobago, or Steelband Ambassador, National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, Steelband Ambassador, government agencies and corporate sponsors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Steelband leaders, members of the media. I can not help but smile this afternoon with a great sense of pride. And I'd like to share a few thoughts and messages with you who are part of the Steelband movement. You are part of something that is extremely important to the DNA and the fabric of who we are as citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. The Steelband represents to every patriotic Trinbagonian a symbol forged initially in struggle, a lack of recognition, and it has shown in a few short decades what the members of the Steelband movement have been able to do by producing the only musical instrument produced in the 20th century, as well as to rise to the level of recognition, not only with a global Steelband Day, but more importantly so, as our national instrument, captured in law, and now for time immemorial, identified and recorded in our coat of arms. Do not underestimate for a moment the importance of those, what may seem as small gestures, but are huge steps. I keep telling people, you go in a pan yard, you interact with a pan side, and it is pure love and positivity. There are so many messages and positive messages to be learned there. You always in a pan yard have the older members looking after the younger members. You have positive teaching going on. You have teamwork being learned. It is a place where every member and their family can go, as Beverly said, in a safe space, and you could discuss what is going on in your life. I'd like to use this opportunity to recognize someone who was taken away from us a bit too soon, but who also had a great passion and love for the Steelband in his own humble way. And we buried him yesterday for him to go to the life beyond. And that's Mark Lokwan from NGC. And Mark was the one who related to me a story that proved exactly what I just said. He came to me a couple years ago and said he had a proposal to take the board of National Gas Company to a pan side that NGC was sponsoring. I said, Mark, that's a great idea. Tell me how it goes. He came back afterwards and related to me that there were members of the board, and they went along with some members of their families who had never been to a pan yard before and never experienced that. I call it magic. And he said it was literally life-changing for these executive members of arguably the most successful state company we have, NGC, and how they came back and they understood the concepts I've just described. Group work, team building, being able to sort out problems. If one person isn't having a good day, how the rest of the band pull them up. So we must do everything we can to protect and to grow our pan. It is ours. That is my message to us here today as Trinbagonian. Steel pan is ours. We must claim it. We must own it. We must love it. We must market it. We must grow it. And it gives me immense pleasure to look around the room here this afternoon and see so many young people involved, because it is a positive movement for our youth. It is incumbent on us, and you have the full support of the government. In fact, I am looking forward in the next couple years, after I come back in office on the 28th of April, to being able to join you at your annual award ceremony right across the road, where the government is committed to building a permanent modern-day home for the steel pan and your movement, Pan Trinbago. Furthermore, you will see in the plans that I've begun to speak about and the vision for Trinidad and Tobago as you write a new chapter, that the art, culture and entertainment movement, of which steel pan is a critical component, is going to be promoted, because there is huge potential there for employment of our young people in that ecosystem, for growth, for earning of foreign exchange, all while doing something that we love and that just overflows with positivity. So I ask you to join us on this journey. And I would like to personally single out this afternoon your visionary leader of Pan Trinbago over the past few years, Mrs. Beverly Ramsey Moore, for the tremendous work she has done. And I stand here today as your Prime Minister, calling on corporate Trinidad and Tobago, more persons in corporate Trinidad and Tobago, to come forward and support the PAN movement, because it has so many knock-on effects of positivity in our communities throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, young citizens, boys and girls, PAN is love and PAN is life. PAN is yours and PAN is mine. PAN is Trinidad and Tobago. There is nothing sweeter and more magical and more pure and authentic than being in the pan yard when they're practicing, and then being down in the tracks and on the drag amongst the movement, getting ready for that big moment on stage. And as long as I have life, I look forward to being able to participate in that in my simple way. You have my full support, my full admiration, and I will advocate for the PAN movement wherever I am in the world. And all we ask of you as a government is that you continue doing what you're doing, because you're on the right trajectory. Know that you have our full support. Young people, you all take it forward. Understand the gift that you've been given. And I look forward to continuing to celebrate with Pan Trinbago and all of the bands of the movement. Because this year I didn't take first place with my band. Keep it up. We are extremely proud of you, and we will continue to support you in the best way we can. That extra money that Beverly is asking that we find, hold on, because I have said I will be responsible, and I am not going to put the government in a position it can't pay its bills. So the first port of call for that is corporate Trinidad and Tobago. And we will go along with you to corporate Trinidad and Tobago to get more investment into the PAN movement. So, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for allowing me these few short thoughts and words. As you may recognize, it is a slightly busier period than usual for some of us, and I really look forward in the not too distant future returning in this position to continue to celebrate with you. Thank you, and may God bless the PAN movement.